Okay, now it's live.
It's live.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey guys. Sorry, that was a little bit difficult to try to set this up.
I'll move that in just a little bit.
Good idea.
Better?
Yep. I hope it's public because I don't see anybody coming on. We had a lot of technical difficulties setting this up. Oh, there we go. Okay, we have people on. We were nervous that this was only private. So can you guys just give us a thumbs up or let us know in the comments if you could hear us okay? Because the phone's a little bit far away from us. I can't really see too much. Thumbs up. Okay. I can't read the comments yet. We'll get to that in a minute. But we got a really good question that we wanted to answer. We figured, well, Adam's home for the weekend because he's working full time now. During the week, we would answer it. The question was, does Adam feel like any of his experience for 20 years inside prison, did any of that prepare him for fatherhood?
Which is a great question.
I think that's a great question too.
And it was one that I definitely wanted to answer because I can't tell you how many times, with all the guys that I worked with over the years and trying to figure out, what their motivation was, the vast majority of guys on the inside say, it's their family, their significant other, their children. Their children is always, very high on that list. Everyone says that. And, I used to challenge guys who said that, it's important to me to be a great father. And I used to challenge them on what they were actually doing. Even though, we were incarcerated, like, what are you doing to show your children, that you genuinely care about them, that you want to be that father, you want to be, someone that they can trust, rely on. So I got to see a lot of that up close and personal and work with individuals on a one-on-one basis. And for me, it was always something that stood out to me as, man, like, when I get the opportunity to become a father, I always believed it would happen. And I wanted to make sure that I was, like everything else that we planned, I was being very intentional about it and thinking about, what type of father do I want to be? And how do I want to be? Well, my wife is pregnant and going through
Hell, oops.
all of the emotions, all of the physical changes. So I gave a lot of thought to this question, and for me, just like everything else, it's one of those things where you can say, whatever the situation is, like, when I'm in that situation, I really, really hope that I can be this way. But until you're there, you don't know how you're actually going to respond. It's the same thing like when I received all the time that I received. Guys are like, man, I would have just given up. I would have hung up. I would have done this. I would have done that. And I'm like, you say that, but you don't know. You don't know how you would respond.
Yeah, just like in the comments we did at this or that video, how we'll be as parents. In theory, somebody wrote this and it's so true. In theory, everybody's the best parent in the world until they have a child. And I couldn't agree with that more. We're not going to know what the hell we're doing until we're actually in the moment, and you have to figure it out. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but I thought that was so relevant.
That's
because
a great point, definitely. And it is, it's the same thing. So the only thing I can speak on at this point is, since we found out we were pregnant and, going through this 16 weeks, we're 16 weeks in, doing the things, making sure, like listening to Baby Mozart, there were things that I really wanted to do even before, our child was born, being intentional, making sure that our relationship is healthy, because, everything that I've read says that, the baby can sense this, that he's picking up on both of our emotions, on the things that we're saying. So these are all things that, I gave a lot of thought to prior to all of this. And so far, I hope that I'm living up to those expectations and those commitments.
Oh my God, beyond, really beyond. I always said I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else, but I genuinely did not think that somebody could be, I'm gonna cry, so amazing and supportive. And literally, especially like when I was so sick for the first 8 to 10 weeks, you did everything. And I keep saying it to everybody, but I'm just so touched because I've never been around somebody that's done literally everything from cleaning, cooking, vacuuming, supporting. I mean, my mood was intense. Thankfully, second trimester, my mood's been pretty, I mean, except for the last 5 minutes where I almost just melted, but my mood's been really good. It's just been like the physical hell that I've been going through. But yeah, you've been incredible. Did prison prepare you for the mood swings? You have to walk on eggshells around people?
No, it did. It
Yeah,
definitely did.
I know, I was like kidding, but not.
No, seriously. 20 years in prison taught me, well, one of the things that I did learn, and it was something that I knew that I needed to learn, how to, first and foremost, how to deal with my own emotions.
Sure.
My own insecurities, so that I was at a good place, I was healthy, I was balanced, so that when you went through your emotional swings, I didn't react to that.
You took the words out of my mouth. You're not reactionary.
But I was. Let me just be very clear.
I was just gonna say, aren't most guys coming out?
Not even just coming, I'm saying going into prison. I was all reactionary. There was zero thought that went into pretty much anything that I did.
Yeah.
Everything was just respond to whatever the situation was, or react to the situation. I didn't think about it and then choose my response, which is very different. I've thought all of this through, so I'm not saying that I don't feel a certain way. Like when she goes through an emotional swing and is upset with me for something, like
Or nothing.
Of course, of course I feel
For
that.
breathing.
I feel it, but I don't react to it. I understand where it's coming from. I choose a different response. I'm like, I understand where she's at right now.
Which in the moment is so helpful because sometimes any woman on here who's experienced PMS can understand this completely. You don't even need to be pregnant, but words are coming out of your mouth and you're like, what am I doing? Why am I saying this? But you just can't stop it. And so to have somebody that's reactionary, that would be like throwing a match on gasoline. To have somebody that's not reactionary, sometimes in the moment I'm like, I just want to freaking fight. But you don't. You really don't. Like, at the end of the day, that's not going to be healthy for anybody, for us, for the baby, for anything. But like, how did you get yourself there? Because so many women whose loved ones are coming out of prison, and men whose loved ones are coming out of prison, that's their biggest fear, is that like put him or her in a situation and they're going to explode. Like the time with the guy in the parking lot that I know you, but still, like, I didn't at the time know how far somebody could push before.
Yeah. I mean, in that situation and in others, I mean, that's a perfect example. Being in prison and understanding what's an actual threat or what's someone's just reacting emotionally, being emotional.
Maybe tell the parking lot very quick. Tell the parking lot story.
Well, the parking lot story was, parking spots around here, serious business, right?
Whoa.
People take it very serious.
Whoa.
And when we were moving in, I said, yeah, just pull in there for a minute. We'll run in the house, we'll do whatever we're doing. And we come back out.
2 minutes later.
2 minutes later, and someone is pulled in, and I can just tell by the guy's body language that he's agitated, and I think you were already moving the car.
Yeah.
Whatever the case was, she's already moving the car, and I was like, I see the guy go to move. I'm the one that says something to him. I'm like, excuse me.
He was standing there flexing and mean mugging us. Like,
but I started the conversation like, excuse me.
Yeah.
We were just parked right there. I don't know if that's your spot. He was like, that is my spot. And clearly was an emotional response, and I didn't take it personal.
I just thought, a couple weeks out of prison, I don't know if this guy's gonna swing. Like, I knew you weren't gonna do anything, but I didn't know how this guy was gonna react, and then I didn't know what your response would have to be, not prison-wise, but like,
Yeah.
if somebody swung on you, what would happen, right? You're the one that's on probation. So the guy wouldn't knock it off. Like, he literally, this is going on for 5 minutes. Adam went back somewhere, and
It wasn't that it was like 30 seconds, but 30 seconds is a long time.
Well, when you're waiting for somebody, yeah.
Someone's waiting to respond.
Finally.
And it was an uncomfortable situation, but the guy clearly, I didn't see it as a threat. It wasn't serious. Thankfully, it de-escalated. It was an opportunity for you to see that, but it correlates perfectly with this situation. Having been in enough situations like that in prison, for me, I was very fortunate to learn how to deal with those, to de-escalate situations where, listen, I can tell you there were so many times in prison. I look back now, but I say it all the time, but by the grace of God, I am here because things could have very easily gone a whole different way. Thankfully, they didn't. I did what I could do, but I'm only responsible for myself. A lot of times there was a lot of other people. And thankfully now it's just the two of us, the three of us, and it's different. I mean, all of that equipped me for this. It prepared me.
If you took 1,000 men to learn how to de-escalate one hormonal pregnant woman, I feel
there you
so
go. You heard it
vindicated at this point for everything I've gone through for over a decade. So what else inside? Anything else prepared you for being a dad? I could think of a couple things.
Prepared me for being a dad.
You want me to?
I'll say this. I can say out of all, 10 years of visits at the same spot, watching other people's children grow up right in front of us in the visiting room, week after week, month after month. I mean, that weighed on me. It weighed on me because we didn't yet have children of our own, and it was a constant reminder of that. But it was also to watch these children coming in here. I saw, again, it was an opportunity for me to see some people, how they were able to parent in that situation. And I looked at that and said, man, this is how I want to be. And I also look at, I think we all look to our parents in some degree.
Sure.
Whether they were good parents or not the greatest parents. And we take, the things that we learned. And I've thought a lot about decisions that my parents made. And, man, what decision would I have made in that situation? And again, it wasn't mine to make. But going forward, taking the time to really think about those things. I had 20 years to think, to get it right, knowing that I definitely was not prepared to be a father before I went in. And even for a good portion of the way through, I feel like for the first time, I'm in a place in my life where I am good with me. I feel like we, as a couple, are ready to bring a beautiful baby boy into this world.
I can't wait. Especially can't wait for this part to be over. And those are the huge things that affect the baby as he grows and matures and grows into a man himself. But also I think there are little things inside prison, little things, but things that are going to help when our baby's a newborn, like being woken up every couple of hours, being able to function on very limited sleep, being able to survive in a really loud environment, because a lot of people can't compute and they shut down when their baby's screaming and crying and there's so much noise and they don't know what they're going to do and they haven't slept. You've kind of dealt with all that. You've been in a high stress environment for 20 years. And I think that'll help so much.
That's a great point. I didn't think about any of those things.
I didn't either until it just kind of popped into my head, but...
No, that's a great insight. Especially the waking up part, because everybody talks about that, with a newborn, and man, just the sleep is going to be hectic.
Especially for one of us.
And we both appreciate our sleep. Some of us need more sleep than others.
A lot more.
But sleep is absolutely we're serious about our sleep with the blackout blinds and setting our phones, turning everything off, very intentional about our sleep habits. And obviously, all of that's going out the window.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to do any of that. But, like you said, man, being woken up so many years on and off with the lights, with the keys, with all the interruptions. I've been there before. I know how to deal with that. And again, not get stressed out, not react to it, but just, figure out how to deal with the situation and move on and know that, listen, it's temporary. You know, we get through that initial phase and it'll get better.
And it'll get better. So do you have anything else to add before we?
I don't think so.
We're kind of losing our sunlight. So a couple things
Yeah.
before we go. Number one, do you guys want us to continue to do more prison videos? I've been having fun doing the pregnancy videos, but if you guys have requests, any ideas, anything you want us to talk about, put them in the comments. We'll look at it after this video. I'm sorry that we're not answering your comments. We're just too far away
Yeah,
from the
definitely
camera. We
can't see
can't
it.
see them right now. So I'll go back through, I'll take some of them, and we can answer them in future videos. Also, I think I'm gonna do a Q&A with Adam about how he feels about all of this, and not just necessarily how prison prepared him, but just a Q&A for Adam, because I've gotten a few questions throughout. So put those in the comments below as well. Anything you want me to ask Adam in a question and answer video. And there was something else I wanted to say, but I can't remember. So give us a thumbs up. We love you guys. We will be back. Well, I'll be back on Monday with another video. I think I'm talking about how I'm avoiding stretch marks in my skincare routine, because you guys have asked me for so long. So I finally did that, and then we'll have some more videos throughout the week. Anything you guys want, let us know in the comments. We love you so much. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And is that it?
I think that's about
I
it.
think that's it. We love you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
I don't know how to shut this. Oh, there we go. It's been so long, I forgot how to do all this.